Hi everyone, my name is Kimia and I post random videos every day on this channel, so yeah, we love that. Okay, so today's video, I'm going to talk about time management and different ways to be productive and don't waste time. So first I'm going to tell you why it would be reasonable to listen to me. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I don't have a degree in time management. I don't think anyone does. But I have implemented it in my life. And I've changed my life in a very short amount of time, actually. And for me, time management definitely was something that I never thought I could even do. Because I have ADHD, so I was just like, okay, that part of my brain just doesn't work, so it's okay if I'm not perfect. Obviously, it's okay if you're not perfect, but not for me. That's not me. So I started really pushing myself and implementing all of these things that I'm going to talk about in this video. And here I am right now. And I usually try to make the most of my day. Like when I'm having a productive day, I am having a productive day. But there are also days that I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna rot in my room. That's the purpose of the day. And that's okay. We need rotting sometimes. So first thing that you need to do in order to have a productive day and be able to make the most of your time is having clear goals for your day, for your time, or whatever time you want to be productive for. You have to know what you want to do in that time, because most of us end up finding ourselves like thinking, okay, what do I do now? And you know what happens when you're thinking that? You open your phone and you start scrolling. That's what happens. Because it's kind of overwhelming, especially if you have a lot of things to do. The thought of what do I do now is so overwhelming that you just end up procrastinating. So the important thing is to, especially if you do it the night before, even waking up would be so much easier. You can just wake up earlier because you know that your day has a purpose. And that's why every time before sleep, I plan my entire day. And it's also really good to have a morning routine, because even if one night you're like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I'm just going to wake up and do my morning routine because that's productive. And like my morning routine is gym, and like that's part of, obviously it's not just gym. But yeah, I know that I'm just gonna wake up, I'm gonna go to the gym, and then I'll figure it out then. But that's not a good thing to do. And I usually end up not as productive those days. But I'm just saying, having a morning routine could really help. Also, when it comes to goals, make sure it's reasonable, because it's really easy to expect yourself to finish tasks that are supposed to like take a week to just do them in one day, because that's what we want. That's what would happen in an ideal world. But guess what? We're not living there. And yeah, so try to look back on similar tasks that you've done, like related to the task that you're planning to do for your time, and see if you remember like how long that took, and based on that, plan your day. And also, I have found that planning hour to hour really overwhelms me, because I don't allocate enough time when I'm planning. Like I also posted that day on it's called 12 hours of productivity. That day I had the entire day planned out on my Outlook calendar, every single task had its own time on my calendar. Like I time blocked everything. And what happened was that when I was just a little behind, like even 15 minutes or 30 minutes, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like this other task is more important and I'm not doing it, but I can't just leave this unfinished. And it just was very overwhelming. So when you're setting your goals for the day, maybe try a to-do list. It could work for you. Like it just depends. Like try it out. You might like having everything planned out. Obviously, time blocking is really good, but moderately, leave some buffer time. I actually should listen to myself. I should do that because to-do lists also could get overwhelming, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But yeah, we'll talk about that later in the video. When I said later in the video, I meant now. So yeah, now we're going to talk about, okay, so you have like N tasks to do. What are you going to do now? Something that I have been doing lately, which really helps, is when I think of something like, oh, I have to do that, I just start doing it. Instead of adding it to my to-do list, I just start doing it. And obviously, well, right now I'm on my winter break. I don't really have anything urgent at all, but that's definitely not possible like while you have work or school and like there are things with deadlines. So when it's like normal time, like it's during the semester, what I do is that I always start with things that are like they have a closer deadline and they have like a bigger chunk of my grade. So if I have an assignment for 20%, obviously I'm going to work on that, even though it's like in 4 days, compared to if I have like a 2% quiz in 2 days. Like I'm just going to do that 2% quiz. I'm just going to deal with that the night before, but the assignment is more important. So something that can help with that is the Eisenhower matrix. I can put a picture of that on the screen. Yeah, you can do it based on the urgency and see, like which one should you do, Something that really helps me with time, like just keeping up with what I have to do, because I don't just have like just school. I am a peer helper. I have jobs, multiple jobs, and all those jobs, they have different they have different like multiple tasks that I have to accomplish during the week. Then I have like random meetings here and there. So time blocking is key. You cannot survive having a busy life without a good calendar. And it came to a point last semester that if something was not on my calendar, it was not on my mind. And like people would have to call me an hour before to remind me, okay, Kimia, this is not, we didn't send a meeting link. And so yeah, there is a meeting happening, so make sure you come. I was like, thank you for the reminder, you know me well. So yeah, but that's not good. That's not a good thing, actually. Like I just mentioned that. I don't know. Yeah. But it could happen. But it's at least better than forgetting everything, right? So time blocking can really help, and also having reminders. Like there has been so many times that I just completely didn't remember the thing that I was actually, okay, let me tell you this one thing. I had a meeting with someone who works in, I was going to do an informational interview. I can actually make a video about that. But anyway, so this was an informational interview, and I was like so happy about this. I just love that company, and I was so excited. But I was cooking at 3 p.m. and I just checked my phone to look at the time, and it said 3 p.m. and 15 minutes ago, reminder, meeting with Mary, and I panicked. I just panicked because like I got so lucky, man. I got like, if that reminder wasn't there, obviously like I should have heard it, but that was my problem for not hearing the reminder sound. But it would have been bad. It would have been very bad. So yeah, reminders definitely really, really help. Okay, next step is avoiding procrastination. I think we're all familiar with procrastination. Like it's in everyone's life, and it's a normal thing, but it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be, because why should it be? Why do we actively try to avoid the things we have to do, and it's also painful? Like, I never enjoy procrastination unless like I'm actively being lazy, as if like sometimes I just want to rot, and I do that, and it's so fun. But sometimes I'm like, I have to do that, I'm not resting. I'm like eating myself up while doing nothing, and that's just not fun. And I think for most people that's the case. Like that's actually the definition of procrastinating. Like, you want to do something but you can't. Or isn't it? I'm not sure. Maybe I could be wrong. But one thing that can definitely help with that is deleting Instagram and TikTok. Because just think back. When you're procrastinating, what do you do? I mean, I also like watch Netflix when I procrastinate. But yeah, just remove those things that you run to when you're running away from the things that you have to do. And when they're gone, you have to like replace them with something else. And that could be something like more productive, like learning an instrument or learning a new language. I actually, when I deleted Instagram, which I realized a few months ago that I was completely addicted. And when I say addicted, like, this is an actual addiction, but I'm going to finish my sentence and then I'm going to talk about that. But yeah, I deleted Instagram and I started Duolingo again. I had a 33-day strict, I think. I don't know, I'm not sure. It was definitely after 30. It was during my finals. I didn't continue, but it was really fun. Just every time I was like, oh my god, I need Instagram. Where's my Instagram? And I would just go to Duolingo. Like, I conditioned myself that when you're looking for Instagram, just go to Duolingo and just learn something, and it felt so good. But also, another thing that can really help with, because there was some time during the semester that I couldn't delete Instagram because I had some teams, like some group chats with my teams in like the clubs I was in, and like there was a course that I had a team. Anyway, the reason I could control my screen time was because I put my phone in black and white mode, and for a while, that's just keep in mind, for a while it would work, because you're looking at your phone and it's so ugly. You cannot really, like, it's not entertaining, but as powerful as our brain is, you will start to get used to it, and you will start to find joy in watching Instagram reels in black and white, which is tragic. It's really like, sometimes I was like, oh my god, I am literally doing the thing that was the entire point of having a like putting my phone in black and white. But I wouldn't like change it back, because I was like, no, I'll change, like I'll get better. And I never did, until I deleted the app completely. And you could also replace it with like watching TED Talks. They're pretty fun. And but yeah, when you replace Instagram with something that is more productive, what you're doing is you're decreasing the chance of, okay, let's say you're running away from the tasks that you have to do, and you go and you do Duolingo. You can't do 2 hours of Duolingo. Like, you can, obviously you can, but you wouldn't. Or you wouldn't watch 2 hours of TED Talks. But you would do that with Netflix, Reels, TikTok. And that's because they are addictive. So actually, okay, this was actually in my organizational behavior course. When you're watching these videos, like short videos, I'm not sure about Netflix, but when you're watching Reels or TikTok, let's say you watch 60 videos an hour, let's just like 1 minute each, and they use a variable ratio reinforcement system, which means that the dopamine hit that everyone talks about, that doesn't happen with every video. You probably have noticed that. Not all videos are fun when you're watching like Reels. Variable ratio means that the dopamine hit will happen once. The first time it's going to happen, like maybe in your first video. The second time it's going to happen, like, when it happens, they will show you a video that will cause a dopamine hit. The second time you're going to get the dopamine hit is going to be 5 videos after that. The third time is going to be 3 videos after that. The next time it's going to be 7 videos after that. Next time it's going to be 5. Next time 10. Next time 3. It's variable. You don't know when you're going to get the dopamine hit. So you just keep scrolling until you get it. And then you get it. You just want more. So you just keep scrolling. Because if they had put all those dopamine hit videos back to back, you wouldn't really want to be on Instagram for hours, because you'll be good to go, you know. But and this has actually been studied in mice. This is from my neuroscience course. Mice that has been like variable ratio, they've been reinforced through that system. They press the button to like inject heroin to themselves non-stop. They are like, variable ratio is the most effective and actually dangerous type of reinforcement system. So just keep in mind that you might be actually addicted and you don't even know that. You like, most of us think like if they tell you, okay, you're addicted to your phone, like we don't deny it, but we are actually like, we're literally addicted, like chemically. When I say like addicted, like yeah, chemically you're like relying on it. But yeah, that's just crazy. Another way to reduce distractions and like avoid procrastination is to use some apps, or like iPhone has an option to like put your phone on focus mode, and you can't really open the ad at some apps, and you could technically, but it will like it. Well, it's all about having a strong will and not pressing the button to just like shut up, I definitely did that after a while. Like I was just done with it. I was like, you know what, I need to. It started because I was texting people that I had to text them on Instagram, and it kept popping up like, girl, you're not supposed to be here. I was like, you don't know that. I know better. And then, once you get used to hitting it's not snooze button. I don't remember what it was called, but I'm going to call it snooze button. Once you call the snooze button, you will just get used to it, and you will just keep hitting it, It's just, yeah. Anyway, so that's that. And the next thing I'm going to talk about was be flexible with yourself. Like, yeah, it's important to be productive and make the most out of your time, but things happen, life happens, and if you beat yourself up about being off by an hour, next time you're planning it, like, you don't even want to do it because you didn't make the experience fun. And life is all about fun. Like, even if you're gonna be a productive person, if you're not enjoying it, if you're like pushing yourself to a point that you're hating your life, that doesn't worth it. And I'm definitely someone who had to learn this through doing it. And I am one of those people, like, if I'm not interested in doing something, I will never do it. You can't force me ever. Like, in high school, and like any time before 7th grade to 11th grade, my mom was such a she used to force me to just study, and like she would bring me in front of her. She would put me in front of her and force me to study. And I would put my phone in the middle of my book. And that was crazy. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, that was crazy. But then in 12th grade and now in university, it's the winter break right now, and I'm studying. I love learning so much right now that it feels fun for me to just gain more information. And that's also one very important thing, that if you don't enjoy what you're doing, this whole time management, productivity thing, it's not going to last long. You have to learn to love what you're doing. And it takes a lot of intuition and thinking, very deep thinking. So, yeah. But be flexible with yourself and understand that it's okay if not everything went according to plan. And if things didn't go to according to plan, just try more tomorrow. Just make sure that you will try more. So the last thing, take care of yourself. That's obvious, but yeah, if you don't have the energy to just get out of bed, if you don't eat well, if you don't sleep enough, if you don't drink enough water, your brain is not going to function enough to actually be able to make the most out of your time. So yeah, be healthy. And self-care is not all about just meditation, and I don't know what actually self-care is usually associated with. I usually used to think meditation was people who do self-care is all about meditation, but no, Just if you eat well, if you sleep enough, if you drink water, that's all self-care. It's the basic human needs, but most people don't meet those needs, and that's actually very crazy. Oh, I just forgot to I haven't taken my second creatine half yet. Oh my god. Whatever. Yeah, okay. So this is for today's video, and I hope it was helpful, and yeah. Thank you. Please like and subscribe, because you will be my first subscriber.